Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Just days after the exciting announcement from the IOC that wrestling would return to the games in 2020 and 2024, the best wrestlers in the world have gathered in the historic city of Budapest, Hungary for the 2013 World Wrestling Championships. Well, the city of Budapest is rich with history, culture, and beauty, and the river that splits the city in two, the old city of Buda on one side and Pest on the other. With castles and majestic buildings nestled in the hills, it's an ideal setting for the best Olympic wrestling has to offer. Now, just prior to the action, the event kicked off with a special press conference with FIBA President Nenad Lalovic of Serbia. Speaking to the press in a number of different languages, he talked about the challenge of retaining a spot in the Games, as well as plans for the future of the sport. And after the press conference, USA Wrestling's Craig Sesker had a chance for this very special one-on-one with the FIBA president.
We have a great community. It's a tribe. It's not a sport. It's something different. I'm sure that I don't know if any other sport can gather so many people. We didn't knew how many people are interested in wrestling before that happened. We really knew.
And now
now we feel that we have a momentum, we have that energy, and we immediately continue with the changes to modernize the sport even more. We have many things to do. As I said, we have to prepare for the next bid.
Well, on the very first day of competition, the Hungarian Wrestling Federation launched the event with a highly entertaining opening ceremony, complete with some local heritage and a celebration of wrestling's history in the Games. And then it was time to wrestle. Well, this week we're going to talk about the first 2 days of the championships in Budapest. It featured competition in men's freestyle. Each day at the Worlds, there are 3 weight classes contested. Day 1 featured the 121-pound division with American Angel Escobedo. The 45-pound division saw Brent Metcalf of the U.S. in action, and the 211-pound division is where J.D. Bergman would be in action. Remember, Metcalf and Bergman were teammates on the 2010 U.S. World Team as well. But it was Escobedo competing at his first World Championship who went on a tear on day 1. He came out strong in his opening bout, scoring 3 takedowns to secure an impressive 6-0 win over Andrei Dukov of Romania. Round 2 was an even bigger win as Escobedo scored a quick takedown and a series of gut-wrench turns for an 8-0 tech fall in just a minute 4 over hometown favorite Robert Cardos of Hungary. Now we go to the quarterfinals. Angel ran into tough Amit Kumar of India, who was able to shut down Escobedo's offensive attack. Kumar gradually added points on the way to a 6-0 win over the American, but Escobedo was pulled back into the repechage when Kumar advanced to the finals. There he dominated France's Zohir El Houraj 8-2 in the repechage to reach the bronze medal round against Turkey's Cesar Akgül, a past world silver medalist. Escobedo led 1-0 at the break on a passivity penalty, but it was Akgül who scored the only takedown of the bout, and he did so in the second and emerged a 2-1 winner, giving the past NCAA champ from Indiana a 5th-place finish in his very first World Championships.
I think I wrestled, decently well. It's not what I wanted. I wanted a gold medal. There's areas I have to focus on, clearing collar ties and being able to score, not just making it a one-move match. These foreigners are really good with shutting down defense and, playing a cat and mouse game, and I just have to go out there and get my offense going.
J.D. Bergman dropped his opening bout at 211 pounds. He came out strong in the first round and held a 3-0 lead early in the second period over 2005 world bronze medalist from Kyrgyzstan, Alexei Krupnyakov. But Alexei caught Bergman with an upper body throw and recorded a fall at 3 minutes 58 seconds. Bergman was eliminated when his opponent lost in the quarterfinals.
Very much so ready to win the World Championships, and I believed with 100% of me that that was going to what was going to be the outcome today, and it wasn't. So, still, praising God for the opportunity, and it's still really surreal. So, I mean, it's unbelievable what that can happen at this level of wrestling.
Well, how did Brent Metcalf do? He had a difficult draw, to say the least. He faced 2-time world champion Mehdi Tagavi of Iran. Metcalf had lost to Tagavi at the 2013 World Cup and was looking for some revenge. But it was the Iranian who opened the scoring, jumping to an exciting 3-0 lead. The Americans scored on a push-out early in the second to close the gap, but another Tagavi takedown turned back the Metcalf comeback. The win went to the Iranian by a 5-2 margin. Metcalf was then eliminated when Tagavi lost his next bout and failed to reach the finals.
I fully expected him to beat the next few guys, because they're guys, all guys that I had wrestled against, this year, that whole way.
Yeah.
So I expected him to be able to beat those guys. And, it's the World Championships. Jordan Burroughs said it best: it's the toughest tournament in the world, and you got to win them all.
National freestyle coach Zeke Jones talked about the first day action.
Angel executed the game plan excellent. First period, worked hard to get that guy put on the shot clock, converted the shot clock for his point. Second half, the strategy was he needed to get the next takedown to make a 3-0 and finish the match. Unfortunately, that guy took him down. He couldn't sprint to rescore at the end. So it's that small tactical game that you're playing in individual match planning, we just weren't able to execute.
Stay tuned. There's a lot more. We'll be right back.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Well, a total of 3 champions were crowned that day, Sunday, with 2 coming from Iran. At 121 pounds, Iran's Hassan Rahimi won a very close battle against Kumar of India for a 2-1 victory and his first world title. Also winning his first world title, Iran's tough Reza Yazdani, who stopped former world champion Guzamov of Azerbaijan in the 211-pound finals. The final score there, 4-2. The other individual champ was the surprising one, David Safarian of Armenia. He needed the criteria for a 2-2 victory over Cuba's talented Livan Lopez. Now we go to day two of freestyle. The second day of competition brought 3 more weight classes in men's freestyle. All 3 Americans in action that day trained at the Ohio Regional Training Center. The most experienced of the group, of course, was heavyweight Travel Delagnev, a 2009 world bronze medalist who also finished 5th at the 2012 Olympic Games and 2011 World Championships. Delagnev came out very strong in his early bouts. He opened up with a quick 9-0 tech fall over Jaúd of Brazil in just 33 seconds. It was a takedown and a number of tilts for him. The second round was more the same, as his offense was on track for a 7-0 tech fall over Rikita of Japan. The time there, 2 minutes 13. Well, the quarterfinal was a big one for Delagnev as he drew Iran's tough Komil Ghasemi. This was the man who had beaten Delagnev in the bronze medal bout at the 2012 Olympic Games and had victories over Delagnev in the World Cup and the Rumble on the Rails this season as well. Well, Travel came out motivated and sharp, scoring first and keeping the pressure on the entire bout. In a dominating performance, he scored a 7-0 tech fall over Ghasemi at the 5 minute 16 second mark, and he was on to the next one. Well, the semifinals opponent there was talented Alan Zizev of Ukraine. Delegnev couldn't get his offense going early, and Zizev led 1-0 at the break. In the second period, he scored a takedown. Zizev did, and never looked back. He defeated Delegnev 6-2. In the bronze medal round, Terveldu Tahu Akgül of Turkey. He entered the Worlds as the #1 ranked athlete at the most recent FILA World Rankings. Once again, Delegnev couldn't get that offense going, and Akgül won the bronze medal with a 3-0 decision. Overall, Delegnev finished 5th for the 3rd time in his career on the world or Olympic level.
Got a little slugged out in my match. I don't know if it was missed my warm-up. I don't know what happened, but I just, I had the position beat to his takedown. And he started giving me pressure, and I just went to a whizzer, stuff that day one stuff that you don't do. So that performance, it's one move match in the semis, one move match in the third. I can't do that.
U.S. coach Lou Rosselli, who coaches Delegnev on a daily basis at the Ohio RTC, talked about the performance.
We knew the Turk was good. He was ranked #1. Tervel beat him last year in Poland. But I think what really was the difference, obviously, the takedown, but the pressure on the shot clock. The guy established the shot clock. Nobody scored. So he had a 1-0 lead. Then he got to our legs, and, we didn't have a good leg attack defense, and, that really cost us the match.
Well, Reese Humphrey had a strong run on day 2 at 132. He, of course, was in his second world meet after placing 9th at the 2011 World Championships. Hump fell behind 3-0 in his opening bout, but finished it off strong by finishing off Ukraine's Avazian and throwing him to his back for a dramatic pin at 1:37. The second round was a dominant effort from Humphrey, who scored early and often to register a 7-0 tech fall in the second period over two-time cadet world champ Bakir of Turkey. Humphrey's quarterfinal bout was an intense one for sure, and it got the attention of the crowd in Budapest. Reese started off well against Iran's Pujabari, scoring the first 5 points with some aggressive wrestling. But the Iranian stormed back, gradually closing the gap in the second. Humphrey led 8-7 late in the bout, but the Iranian scored a takedown with just 4 seconds left on the clock and stole the bout 9-8. Humphrey was eliminated when the Iranian lost in the semifinals, finishing his day with an 8th place finish.
When I got the draw, I knew it wasn't a great draw, but if you want to be the champ, you got to beat everybody. So, I just wanted to wrestle. I just wanted to score a lot of points this time. I've lost in the past 1-0 and playing a cat and mouse game, and that's really not my style. The 6 minutes is much better for me. You can turn on top, and if you do give up one, you have time to give it back.
Next up, American Keith Gavin. He was competing in his first World Championships at 185, but the former NCAA champ from Pitt has been on the international scene for a number of years. Gavin opened with an impressive offense, scoring a 9-2 tech fall over Michael Satzel-Ashvili of Israel. At the time of that one, 2:30. In the second round, he drew Georgia's Dato Marseg-Ishvili, a world and Olympic medalist who entered the tournament as the #1 ranked wrestler in the world. It was the Georgian who scored the opening takedown and then turned Gavin for exposure points on his way to an 8-0 tech fall. Gavin was then eliminated when Marseg-Ishvili lost in the third round. He joined us to talk about his first World Championship experience.
Like you said, I've been wrestling for a while. This is my 4th year now on the international scene, so I've wrestled a lot of these guys and are trained with a lot of them, and it's just really disappointing because I was having good training camps. We spent that week in Belarus, and I was beating up a lot of good guys, and then so I was kind of very confident coming in here, and then to go out the way I did was extremely frustrating.
National freestyle coach Zeke Jones talked about the U.S. performance on day 2.
Reese and Tervel were up at about the same time, so I didn't get to see Tervel's match. So I can't really comment on the semifinal. I can tell you prior to that, he really wrestled quite well. He game planned the Iranian good. I do know that in his Iranian match and the Ukrainian match, he didn't put that guy on the shot clock, which tells me he didn't do enough work in the first 2 minutes of the bout.
USA Wrestling continues when we return. Stay tuned.
Wrestlers, are you ready for the next step? USA Wrestling challenges you to test your skills at the USA Wrestling Clifton Athletic Folk Style Nationals. Become a national champion Head to the Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa on April 5th and 6th to compete against the best wrestlers in the country. Last year's event featured 1,200 cadet and junior wrestlers from 32 states on 26 mats. For more information about this event and other tournaments, visit usawrestlingevents.com.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, American fans took interest also in Puerto Rico's Franklin Gomez, who's a member of the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club and an NCAA champ as well for Michigan State, competing at 132 pounds at the Worlds. Gomez was the 2011 World Silver Medalist, if you recall, and one of the favorites entering this competition. Franklin opened with a 6-0 victory over Bazar Buzgarev of Kyrgyzstan, scoring all of his points in the first period. In his second, he scored a hard-fought 8-6 victory over Ryan Wang of North Korea, earning all of his points in the second period. In the quarterfinals, Gomez lost a shootout with Russian's Goygurev, 13-5 the final. Goygurev earned a spot in the finals, which pulled the Michigan State standout back into the repechage round. In that round, Gomez looked strong indeed and came away with a 5-1 victory over Andrei Perpolita of Moldova. With a chance to get into the bronze medal round, Gomez drew the Armenian but dropped a close 6-4 decision to him. When it was over, Gomez finished in 7th at 132 pounds. Now, Russia had a very strong showing on the second day with 2 gold medals. Winning a world title in his very first World Championship appearance was Gogurev at 132 pounds. He opened up the offense and then pinned Vladimir Dubov of Bulgaria at 4 minutes, 20 seconds of the finals. Now, world and Olympic champion Gotsalov moved up to heavyweight for the first time in his career and competed with dominance. In the championship finals, he scored a 7-0 tech fall over Alan Sasiv of Ukraine, ending the bout with 2 3-point throws. Gotsalov won his 5th career world title to go along with his 2004 Olympic gold medal. Winning his second world title was Ukraine's Aldotov at 185 pounds. He scored an 8-1 tech fall over Rainis Salas of Cuba at 3 minutes 19 seconds of that bout. Altov's first world title came back in 2006 when he was competing at 163 pounds. Well, the men's freestyle team had one more American left to hit the mats, Olympic and world champ Jordan Burroughs at 163 pounds. Burroughs had some good training in the final days before competition and was looking to continue his 60-match winning streak. We caught Burroughs on video drilling a few days prior to his competition. Jordan's coach, Mark Manning, who mentored him at Nebraska, is in his corner at the major international events and talked about American wrestling legend following the weigh-ins.
He's had an injury. I know everyone, has heard about. We'll talk about more of that after the tournament. But he's great. He's in great shape right now, and he handled that situation really well, and got through it. And he's primed, ready to go. He's excited about wrestling, and excited about competing.
Well, the second group of athletes set to wrestle at the Worlds are the women. Team USA comes in with a very experienced team, a pair of reigning world champs in Elena Peroskova and Adeline Gray, and 4 different past world medalists on the roster. Gray, who won her world title at 147 last year, moved up to 158 this year and is looking for a world gold in her new weight class.
Team's feeling really good. We had a great training camp, so the sun didn't shine much, but now that we got here, the sun's out and we're ready to battle, that's for sure. I'm trying to live in the moment and just enjoy each day as it comes, but yeah, I'm super excited for World Championship Day. It's exciting, a little bit of pressure, but I'm really looking forward to it.
National women's coach Terry Steiner was pleased with the training camp and prep for the team and his high expectations for the tournament.
I think, we got great energy right now. It's been a great camp. The team behind the team has been awesome. And so, I really like where we're sitting right now. I think the athletes are ready. I think their expectations are very high. Their energy is very high, and we're here to do a job.
Well, the event will conclude with Greco-Roman competition, and Team USA is a mix of veteran stars like Justin Lester and Spencer Mango, along with some talented young newcomers. We'll, of course, have a full report on all 5 days of action at the World Championships in next week's show. Well, a few weeks ago, we had a full report of California phenom Aaron Pico, who won gold in men's freestyle at the Cadet World Championships in Serbia. Pico is considered one of the top young Olympic prospects and has traveled to foreign nations many times in the past for competition and training. Pico is one of the many Americans in Budapest supporting Team USA and watching the best athletes on the mats. He made the trip with his coach, Valentin Kalik, and was able to work out with the U.S. wrestlers and spend some valuable time with the team. We talked with Aaron about his experience as a spectator at the championships.
Oh, it's awesome. I call myself like the bat boy, I'm here. Whatever they need me to do, I'll do. I need to be a partner. But, if I'm a partner, I'm learning stuff as well. I'm always looking to get better. And I'm just thankful and grateful that I'm here. It's a privilege, and I'm excited. I'm soaking it all in.
You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. Stay tuned.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, one of the most colorful and popular members of the U.S. men's freestyle coaching staff is 2008 Olympian Andy Rovat. He coaches now full-time with the Cliff King Club in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Rovat helped prepare the U.S. wrestlers during their training camp in Belarus just prior to the championships. He's worked with many of these athletes over the last few years.
With these rules and the way they are, you could go out, you could be winning matches by 4, 5, 6, 7 points, and you should expect it. In the biggest matches, if you're expecting to have a close match, you may not be able to pull that trigger and score the points when you need it. But if you're expecting to go out there to score 10 points, and you should be able to come out on top and stay ahead. It's just a different mindset, mentality, a lot more action. It was great. As a spectator yesterday, sitting in the stands watching the matches and scouting, and it was awesome. Just the amount of action.
Well, the focus of the wrestling community as of late has been on the international scene. First with the IOC decision of wrestling's Olympic future, then the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Back home in the States, college wrestling fans have got some good news of their own. Huntington College in Alabama, Division III college, announced that it will add a varsity wrestling program starting in the 2014-2015 year. This is big news in the South, where wrestling is making a resurgence over the last few years. Huntington will be the first NCAA wrestling program in Alabama in more than 30 years. Just as remarkable, perhaps, is that Huntington is the 100th college wrestling program added across the nation since 2001. A number of individual benefactors, as well as U.S. Wrestling Foundation, helped to raise the funds needed for them to launch the new program. The school also announced their first varsity coach, Tom Story. He was an EIWA champ while competing for Navy. We talked with NWCA President Mike Moyer about the growth of college wrestling.
Well, it is very exciting. It's the 100th college wrestling program we've gotten started since 2001. But even more important, it's our first NCAA wrestling program in the great state of Alabama. And as we know, historically, these programs are essentially the training grounds for developing future generations of high school, middle school, and elementary school teachers and coaches. We have 90 high school wrestling programs in Alabama. We didn't have a single 4-year program, and now we have one at Huntington College down in Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, a few days later, more good news came out of Georgia when Life University announced that it would add a women's varsity program, the first and only program for women in the state. Life added a men's program just a few seasons ago. Team Georgia, USA Wrestling State Association, was a major supporter of the program and also helped to encourage the college to make a commitment to women's wrestling. And with that, it's time for USA Wrestling's Photo of the Week. The pictures are sent in by families and fans from around the country and are being considered for our photo contest page in our USA Wrestler magazine and the USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week, our picture was taken by talented international wrestling photographer Robert Whitman of the United States. He was at work during the World Wrestling Championships, and the photo shows U.S. heavyweight star Tavel Delegna battling Iran's Gassimi in a World Championship quarterfinal bout that was won by Delegna. Have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest by emailing them to the very hard-working Gary Abbott at usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. And from all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.